Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. It is really important for us to talk about bullying because bullying is happening not only to children but to adults. And so I thought let me start to talk about what bullying is all about, how it affects people, and how we can stop it. As kids, when I grew up, I was always told kids will be kids. You know, the teasing on the playground, the making fun, the poking fun at. Maybe it's because somebody looks a certain way, one's chubbier than the other, or perhaps one doesn't have a friend. Little things that you can pick on them for. It then grows into groups of kids picking on each other and ganging up on one another. Somebody could take advantage of a new kid because they're in an awkward situation where they don't know anyone, they don't have any friends, to bully them to give them their lunch money. It could then be making fun of them when they don't do well in school, or if they say the wrong thing, or perhaps the way they dress if the family doesn't have money. Kids can be cruel, they can say hurtful things, and these implications and statements can really cut deep for kids. So much so that they tend to avoid the situation at all costs. So if they're getting bullied on the playground, you'll notice that some kids will want to stay inside during recess at the fun time of the day. Perhaps they'll sneak to the library or hide in the bathroom or ask to do help the teacher. There's signs of bullying when kids come home from school and you ask how the day is. And they'll tell you it's terrible, they hate school, things like that. It's important for parents to keep an eye open for warning signs of bullying. Get to know your kids' friends, who they are, and what they're like. Kids may say things that hurt if they have a special need, if perhaps, they may make fun of the way they talk, if they, still haven't got the pronunciation of words correctly. They may make fun of their background, their race, or their religion. Again, the way they dress. So we need to put a stop to it as soon as we see it happening. Kids don't want to tell grown-ups though. They're very afraid. They don't want to get anybody in trouble, and they don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed it's happening to them. So by getting to know who your kids' friends are and how the days are going and having open dialogue with their teachers at school is a good start. Because as they grow up, as I mentioned, kids tend to melt together into groups, and groups start to gang up on those that are being bullied. It could be if somebody's doing well in school, they call them a brainiac or a nerd, and they may make fun and pull pranks. They may be the center of some hazing at school and, perhaps getting pushed around outside on the playground or on lunch breaks, things like that. Kids will stop eating if they're being bullied, if their lunches are being stolen, or if their lunch money is being stolen. They'll also stop eating if they're being ridiculed for the type of food they bring. Bullying is kind of like peer pressure as well. So if a group of people see somebody being bullied, young kids aren't going to necessarily step up and say it's wrong. But teachers need to watch for this, principals and school administrators. But nobody wants to be a snitch in school. So they're not going to go and tell the teachers. So as a teacher, I would always want to make sure I have extra eyes. What that means is really tuning into the behaviors and active listening to what students are saying about one another and to one another. Bullying can even happen in the home. So it could be an older sibling bullying a younger sibling, or a father or mother bullying the other. It could be where kids get that behavior from their parents. They notice that the father is bullying the mother at home and they assume it's appropriate behavior. They're emulating it at school because it's good to be tough, As you get older and you go to university, people are starting to come into their own and understand perhaps their sexual orientation or their sexual experiences. And they can be bullied for that, and they could be teased and ridiculed, and that may stop them from doing well at school, from making friends, and from leading a normal, well-balanced life because they'll hide away. Bullying can be so severe at any age that it can lead to isolation, depression, and even suicide. But bullying doesn't stop there. Bullying continues in our lives. As we get older and become adults, it can be in relationships, it can be in the workplace, and bullying in the workplace is very underhanded in the sense that it's not evident. So it could be a coworker who is jealous of a project somebody else has been assigned to, and they could bully them to the point where they don't want to come to work and then lose that position. It could be taking people's ideas at work. It could be putting them in an uncomfortable situation. You hear those terms, oh, you're a kiss ass, you're this, brown noser with the boss, that sort of thing. That sort of ridicule and statements can be very sly and start to slowly attack somebody's well-being at work. Bullying is a situation where you feel threatened or unsafe or uncomfortable to do well. And that's pretty important. But bullying doesn't just stop there. It goes on to seniors. As seniors get older, unfortunately some of their children could be bullying them, threatening them by not helping them when they need help, threatening to do something to hurt themselves as a child, and the parent doesn't want that to happen. And they could be doing it in such a way that nobody else knows. Statements such as, if you don't give me this money, because I'm really stuck, Mom, I can't make the rent this month. If you don't give it to me, I'm not going to come see you, or I'm going to keep the grandkid away, or whatever the threat may be. Seniors will never tell anyone they're being bullied. And it could be, like I said, by their children, it could be by a caregiver, if they're in a senior's home or a long-term facility, or again, it could be by a spouse. Bullying is making someone do something against their own will, or making them feel threatened or less than. And it's important for us to identify what bullying is all about and the ramifications it has. So people will start to stay away from situations, to isolate themselves, they will feel poorly about themselves, and probably just hide away. They don't want to tell anyone, no matter how old they are, because they don't want to look weak. They're embarrassed, and they don't want to identify this. But bullies are bullying because they're insecure. They're not confident in what they're feeling and what they're doing. So they try to make you feel worse. They have to make somebody less than them in their eyes feel worse about themselves to make themselves feel better. There's so many bullying campaigns which are so important, especially for kids, but for any age, for us to identify what bullying is all about and to put a stop to it. Life is short, and everybody has the right to enjoy every aspect, from a child to adolescence to teenage years to university and adulthood. And of course, as seniors especially, no one deserves to be bullied. Have you observed bullying? Have you been a victim of bullying? Or are you a bully? All of us fit into one of those categories. What is it? For us, we have the responsibility to put a stop to it. It could be as simple as identifying what it is, asking those questions of our kids or our loved ones, even our parents. If we suspect bullying, we need to intervene. We need to let people know it's not okay to be bullied, it's not okay to bully, and that they know that there's resources out there to ensure that they get the help they need. So if you know that somebody's being bullied, step in, get them the help they need before it's too late. We've heard far too many stories about young people killing themselves because they don't want to go to school, because their life is miserable because of other children. Nobody has the right to make another person feel less than. If your kids are bullies, please have that conversation with them to find out why they're feeling the need to be bullies and solve it there. Show kids, set an example, because they're going to emulate you, and make sure that they follow, lead by example. And if your kids are bullies, get them the help they need, because clearly there's something else going on there. Bullying is a problem that is worldwide. It doesn't matter our backgrounds, our age, our social, economic, all of us probably at one point will be bullied or will bully someone. And it's not acceptable. We need to stop it today. So until next time, I challenge you. Learn more about bullying and how you can get involved. I know that I read a lot this past week about it, and it's heartbreaking to see that it's happening to so many different people. So let's put a stop to it, especially because those that are bullying us need the help just as much as we do. So until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share, and I'll catch you next time.